Cancer, this is your reading. And I need you to hear me clearly because what the cards are showing me right now is not a small shift. This is the surprise you stopped praying for because you convinced yourself it wasn't coming. But it's here. It's closer than you think, and yes, you might cry, but not the way you're used to crying. Not the 2M silent tears into your pillow. This is the kind of crying where your chest cracks open and light pours in, and you whisper, finally, finally. Someone is about to hand you something you thought was gone forever. And before I pull the next card, I need you to do one small thing for me. Tell me in the comments where you're watching this from right now. Your city, your country. Drop it below, because I want to see how far this message traveled to find you. And if you haven't subscribed to Trusted Tarot yet, do it now, hit that bell. Because what's coming for you in the next few weeks, you're going to want me here when it arrives. Do not scroll past this. I am asking you from one soul to another. Do not click away. You were meant to hear this now, if you are Cancer, or you have strong Cancer placements in your chart, your moon. Your rising, your Venus, this message is arriving at the exact right moment. The algorithm did not randomly place this video on your screen today, August 9th, 2026. There is no such thing as an accident in the universe. Your higher self, your intuition, the very energy you have been radiating into the void for the past few months, pulled you here to Trusted Tarot. You have been asking for a sign. You have been begging the universe to just give you one clear indicator that you are on the right path, that you are not wasting your time, that your heart is not going to be broken again. And this is it. This is your sign. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders drop. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. I know how tired you are. I can feel the weight of the water you are carrying. You have been the strong one. You have been the one who absorbs the emotions of everyone around you, holding space for their pain while quietly swallowing your own. You have been smiling, nodding, and showing up, but behind closed doors, there is a deep, resonant exhaustion in your spirit. You are so tired of hoping for things that feel like they are constantly slipping through your fingers. But that exhaustion you feel right now, that heaviness in your chest, that is not the end of your journey. That is the physical sensation of an energetic blockage finally beginning to break apart. You are not sinking, you are shedding. Let's talk about what has been happening in your body lately. Because your physical vessel always speaks the truth before your mind is ready to accept it. Over the last few days, you have experienced a sudden, unexplained flutter in your chest. It feels almost like anxiety, but it is not fear. It is anticipation. It is your nervous system recalibrating to a higher frequency of love and abundance. You have been waking up suddenly in the middle of the night, specifically between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., your mind racing, your heart beating just a little bit faster than normal. You might have felt a strange tension at the base of your throat, a feeling of words you need to say but cannot quite articulate. You have been checking your phone with a sudden sense of urgency, even when you weren't expecting a message, feeling a phantom vibration, or a sudden pull to look at the screen. You have been experiencing unusual emotional sensitivity, where a simple song, scent in the air, or passing memory could bring sudden, unbidden tears to your eyes. These are not random symptoms. These are somatic confirmations. Your body is physically preparing you to receive a massive energetic download. The energy is already moving. The wheels are already in motion. And yet, there is a part of you that is terrified to believe it. That is the tragedy of the wounded heart, isn't it? When you have been disappointed so many times, hope starts to feel like a dangerous game. You have trained yourself to expect the worst, to brace for the impact, to protect your soft, beautiful Cancerian heart behind a fortress of emotional distance. You tell yourself that if you don't expect anything, you can't be hurt. But Spirit sees right through that armor. Spirit sees the little girl or the little boy inside of you who just wants to be chosen, who just wants to be cherished without having to fight for it. You are being asked right now to lower the drawbridge. Not all the way, just enough to let the light inches, just enough to let this new energy touch the parts of you that have been kept in the dark for far too long. Now, let's look at your subconscious mind. Because the veil between your waking life and your dream state has been incredibly thin for you lately, the dreams you have been having over the past 2 weeks are not just your brain processing daily stress. They are prophetic. You have been having flashes of vivid, hyperrealistic dreams involving water. Perhaps you were swimming in a deep, clear ocean, or standing on the shore watching a massive tide come. Inches water is your element, and in your dreams, it represents emotional cleansing, and the arrival of profound spiritual gifts. You have also been dreaming about a specific person, but it wasn't a dream about the past, it was a dream about a future interaction. You saw their face clearly, you heard the tone of their voice, and when you woke up, you were left with a lingering feeling of peace, not panic. You might have also been experiencing intrusive thoughts during the day, sudden, unprompted mental pings of a specific memory, or a specific place that holds deep emotional significance for you. You will be doing the dishes or driving to work, and suddenly, out of nowhere, you remember a conversation from 3 years ago, but it feels completely relevant to today. When you have these sudden memories, do not brush them off. When you see repeating numbers like 1111, 222, or 444, do not just scroll past them. The universe is shouting at you. It is trying to bridge the gap between the physical world and the spiritual realm to deliver a message of immense hope. You might have seen a specific animal, a bird, or even found a random object that belongs to someone from your past, just sitting there in plain sight. These are not coincidences. Your spirit guides are surrounding you with evidence that you are supported, that you are loved, and that the narrative of your life is being rewritten as we speak. You have spent so much time feeling like the universe has forgotten about you, like everyone else is getting the miracles, the text backs, the promotions, the apologies, while you are left waiting in the wings. But the waiting period is officially over. The incubation phase of your life is ending. You have been in the dark soil, Cancer. You have been buried not to be destroyed, but to be planted. And the sprout is finally breaking through the surface of the earth, reaching for the sun. The cards are laid out in front of me, and the energy radiating from this specific spread is blinding. It is intense, it is overwhelming. And before I reveal exactly who is stepping back into your life and what they are bringing with them, you need to understand the magnitude of what has been happening behind the scenes. The universe has been working in the shadows to protect your heart and align your path. But the truth of their internal world, the reality of what they are feeling right now at this exact moment, might just bring those happy tears to your eyes. Let's talk about them. The person who has been occupying so much space in your mind, the one whose silence has felt like a physical weight on your chest. I need you to understand what is happening in their internal world right now, because it is entirely different from the calm, detached exterior they have been projecting. While you have been sitting in the quiet, wondering if you pushed them away or if you weren't enough, they have been slowly unraveling. The ego they used to protect themselves from your depth is currently undergoing a massive, unavoidable breakdown. They are sitting in rooms full of people, surrounded by distractions, yet they feel a profound, echoing emptiness that they cannot explain to anyone. They are realizing that the superficial connections they entertained, the easy outs they took, and the emotional walls they built are actually starving them. They miss your warmth. They miss the way you could look at them and see straight into their soul without them having to say a single word. They are remembering the exact tone of your voice, the specific way you made them feel safe. And it is haunting them in the most beautiful, agonizing way possible. They are going through a deep emotional reckoning. At night, when the world goes quiet, they are looking at old photographs. They are rereading old messages. They are replaying the final conversations you had, but this time, are not listening to defend themselves. They are listening to understand where they failed you. There is a heavy, sinking feeling of regret settling into their stomach. They are realizing that in trying to protect their own freedom or avoid their own shadows, they walked away from the very source of light that could have healed them. They are preparing to say things to you that they have never had the courage to say before. They are drafting messages in their head, deleting them, and staring at the ceiling, terrified that they have waited too long, terrified that your beautiful, nurturing Cancer heart has finally closed its doors to them forever. They are at a turning point, and the universe is applying an intense, undeniable pressure to their spirit, forcing them to choose authenticity over fear. But here is where the energy shifts, and I need you to really absorb this next part. You are not the same person they left. You are not the same person who is begging for crumbs of attention or trying to shrink yourself to fit into their limited emotional capacity. The pain you have endured over the last few months was not a punishment, it was an alchemical fire. It burned away your codependency. It burned away your need for external validation. You have spent this time rebuilding your own foundation, focusing on your own spiritual growth, and learning how to mother your own inner child. And because you have done this deep, agonizing, beautiful inner work, the energetic dynamic between you and this person has completely flipped. You are no longer chasing. You are no longer leaking your precious energy into the void. You have pulled your energy back into your own aura, and in doing so, you have created a massive energetic vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum, and the universe is now rushing to fill that space with their realization, their return, and their absolute clarity. However, I am not going to reveal the exact nature of their approach just yet. I am deliberately holding back the final piece of this puzzle because you need the full context before the message truly makes sense. If I just tell you what is coming without explaining the spiritual mechanics behind the delay, you might react from a place of old trauma instead of new power. You need to understand why this took so long. You need to understand the karmic rubber band effect that has been stretching between you two. The delay you experienced was not a rejection. It was a divine incubation period. The universe had to remove them from your physical reality so that you could find yourself. If they had come back 3 months ago, you would have accepted the bare minimum. If they had reached out 6 months ago, you would have compromised your boundaries just to keep them around. The timing of this revelation is entirely dependent on your current level of spiritual sovereignty. You had to become untouchable before they could be allowed back into your sacred space. Before we cross the threshold into the final reveal, I want to pause and ground this energy. If your heart is beating a little faster right now, if your intuition is screaming that this is exactly what you needed to hear, I need you to anchor this frequency into the physical realm. Take a moment to subscribe to Trusted Tarot and gently tap the like button on this video. This is not just about supporting the channel, this is a spiritual contract. It is you telling the universe, out loud and through your actions, that you are ready to receive this miracle. By joining our community here at Trusted Tarot, you are locking yourself into a vibration of high-tier spiritual guidance. You are surrounding yourself with an energy field that protects your peace and accelerates your manifestations. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, or simply keep it in your playlist as a digital talisman. When you engage with this energy, you signal to the cosmos that you are an active participant in your own destiny, not just a passive observer waiting for things to happen to you. And this shift isn't just isolated to your love life. The healing you are experiencing in your heart chakra is directly unlocking the floodgates of abundance in your career and your finances. When you stop pouring your life force into a one-sided emotional black hole, that energy redirects into your personal empire. The clarity you are gaining right now is going to translate into a massive professional breakthrough. You are about to step into a version of yourself that commands respect, demands proper compensation, and attracts opportunities that align with your highest good. The love that is returning to you is merely the cherry on top of a life that is entirely, fundamentally upgrading. The universe is orchestrating a symphony of blessings, and this person's realization is just the opening chord. The stage is set, the karmic debts are paid, and the energetic window is wide open. The moment of impact is here. The cards have flipped, the veil has lifted, and the main reveal is unfolding right in front of us. This is not going to be a casual, low-effort text message saying, "Hey," or "thinking of you." The universe does not orchestrate months of agonizing silence just to deliver a breadcrumb. What is coming toward you is profound, paradigm-shifting confession. It is going to arrive out of the blue, likely when you are completely distracted, when you have finally stopped checking your phone, when you are genuinely engrossed in your own life and your own joy. You will hear the notification, or you will answer an unexpected call, and the moment you hear their voice or read their words, the breath will be knocked completely out of your lungs. They are breaking their own silence. They are shattering the ego that kept them away. This person is going to hand you a deeply vulnerable, uncharacteristically long, and brutally honest apology. They are going to confess everything they were too terrified to say when they were standing right in front of you. They are going to admit that they were wrong, that they were running from their own shadows, and that walking away from you was the single greatest mistake of their life. This is the intense surprise the universe has been guarding for you. This is why the title of this reading promised you happy tears. When you read their words or hear their voice, you are going to cry. But these will not be the heavy, exhausting tears of grief that you have been shedding for months. These will be the light, cleansing tears of absolute vindication. You will cry because, for the first time, you are being completely seen. You will cry because the narrative in your head that told you that you were too much, or too intense, or too demanding, is being completely dismantled by the very person who made you feel that way. They are going to validate every single thing you felt but could never prove. They are going to tell you that your intuition was right all along, that your depth was a gift they were simply too immature to hold, and that they have spent every single day of your separation realizing that no one else compares to the magic of your soul. The relief that will wash over your nervous system when you finally receive this validation will feel like a physical weight being lifted off your chest. You will finally be able to exhale. But listen to me very carefully, Cancer, because this next layer is crucial. When this massive wave of validation and love comes rushing back into your life, your nervous system is going to spike. You are going to feel an intense, almost overwhelming surge of adrenaline. And this is where I must give you a nuanced warning. Do not let the ghost of your past pain distort this new reality. When they reach out, your immediate trauma response might be to either lash out in anger, building a wall of sarcasm to protect yourself, or to immediately melt, drop all your boundaries, and rush back into their arms to fix everything for them. You must do neither. I am asking you to pause before you react. Receive their message clearly, but do not receive it defensively, and do not receive it submissively. You are not the same person they left. You have spent this time in the fire, forging a spine of steel and a heart of pure gold. When they come back with this beautiful, tearful confession, I want you to receive it with the quiet, unbothered grace of a queen or a king. You do not need to reply immediately. You do not need to over-explain your feelings. Let them sit in the tension of your silence for a little while. Let them do the heavy lifting. You have carried the emotional weight of this connection for far too long. It is their turn to carry it now. You might be wondering, if they feel this way, why did it take so long? Why the agonizing delay? Why the months of feeling abandoned? This brings us to the divine window of timing and the spiritual mechanics behind this exact moment. Today is August 9th, 2026. We have just passed through the intense gateway energy of the Lion's Gate portal, and the cosmic dust is finally settling. The universe deliberately delayed this reunion because if they had come back to you in the spring, you would have accepted the bare minimum. If they had reached out when you were still desperate and bleeding emotionally, you would have compromised your self-worth just to keep them in your orbit. The delay was not a punishment, it was a divine protection. The universe kept them away until your energetic frequency was high enough to command the respect you actually deserve. They had to hit their own rock bottom. They had to experience the profound, echoing emptiness of a life without your light before they could truly understand its value. The silence was the chrysalis. The waiting was the incubation. And now, the energetic fruit has fully ripened. This divine timing is not just affecting your love life. It is creating a massive, synchronized shift across your entire reality. The blockage in your heart chakra has been the exact same blockage stalling your career and your finances. You have been pouring so much of your life force into worrying about this connection that you had no energy left to build your own empire. But as this emotional resolution arrives, as you finally receive this apology and this closure, you are going to feel a sudden massive surge of creative and professional energy. The universe is unlocking the floodgates of abundance. The surprise that is coming is not just a romantic confession, it is a holistic life upgrade. You are going to see sudden movements in your bank account, unexpected opportunities in your career, and a magnetic pull toward people who want to see you winches the love returning to you is simply the universe's way of showing you that you are safe, so that you can finally step into your true power in the material world. The cosmic clock has struck, the karmic debts are paid, and the universe is handing you the keys to your new life. Cancer, I need you to hear me now, not as a tarot reader, not as a voice on a screen, but as a soul speaking directly to yours. I know how long this night has been for you. I know how many times you have whispered into the dark, asking if it gets better, asking if you will ever feel whole again, asking if the universe has simply forgotten your name. I know the specific texture of your exhaustion, not the kind that sleep fixes, but the deep, marrow-level tiredness of a heart that has been hoping against hope, day after day, month after month, with nothing to show for it but silence. I know you have carried a quiet shame about how much you still cared, how much you still thought about them, how your mind still wandered to their name in moments of weakness. You judged yourself for it. You told yourself you should be over it by now. You told yourself that healing was supposed to look like forgetting, like moving on, like pretending the wound never existed. But healing has never been about forgetting. Healing is remembering without the painches. Healing is looking back at the fire and realizing you walked through it and came out the other side with your softness intact. And you walked through it. And your softness is still here. Your capacity to love, to nurture, to feel deeply, to give generously, none of it was destroyed. It was merely being protected, being refined, being saved for someone who will finally have the courage to receive it. I know you are afraid. I know that even now, even after everything I have shared with you, there is a small trembling part of you that is waiting for the other shoe to drop. You are waiting for me to say, just kidding, it was never going to work out. You were always going to end up alone with your feelings. That fear is not irrational. That fear is the voice of every time you trusted and were let down, every time you opened your heart and it was handed back to you in pieces. But I need you to understand something fundamental about fear. Fear is not prophecy. Fear is a memory. It is your nervous system trying to protect you from a threat that no longer exists. The version of you that was abandoned, that was made to feel small, that was treated like an option. That version is no longer the one sitting here listening to me. You have outgrown that story. You have outgrown that pain. And the universe is not going to bring you this far, through this much growth, through this much self-discovery, just to leave you standing at the threshold of your own happiness. You are not being teased. You are being prepared. The door is opening, and this time you do not have to force it. You simply have to let it open. You are safe now. Say that to yourself if you need to. You are safe to hope again. You are safe to want things. You are safe to believe that something beautiful is walking toward you. You do not have to brace for impact anymore. You do not have to keep your armor on while you sleep. You do not have to rehearse worst-case scenarios in your mind at 2 in the morning just to feel prepared. The war is over. The battle for your heart, the battle for your worth, the battle to prove that you were enough. It is over. You won. Not because you fought harder, not because you chased longer, but because you stood still, because you rooted yourself in your own worth and refused to uproot yourself for anyone who was not willing to plant themselves beside you. That is the most powerful thing you have ever done. And the universe has noticed. The universe has been keeping a meticulous record of every tear you cried alone, every prayer you whispered into your pillow, every time you chose yourself when it would have been easier to choose them. And now, the universe is balancing the scales. The debt is being repaid. The love is coming home. So here is what I want you to do right now. Wherever you are, whether you are sitting in your car, lying in your bed, or standing in your kitchen with a cold cup of coffee in your hands, I want you to stop. Just stop. Place your hand gently over the center of your chest, right over your heart. Feel the warmth of your palm against your skinches. Feel the steady, faithful rhythm of your heartbeat. That heart has been through so much, and it is still beating. It is still here. Still open, still brave. Take deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely, expanding your ribs, pulling the air all the way down into your belly. Hold it for just a moment, and then let it go slowly, completely. Release it like you are releasing every doubt, every fear, every sleepless night, every moment you thought you would never be chosen. Let it all leave your body with that breath. You do not need to carry it anymore. It was never yours to carry. Now, with your hand still resting on your heart, I want you to repeat this silently to yourself. Let the words land softly, like a prayer, like a promise. I am worthy of the love I have been waiting for. I do not have to earn it. I do not have to perform for it. I do not have to shrink myself to fit into someone else's limited understanding of what I deserve. I am a Cancer. I am deep. I am vast. I am the ocean and the moon and the tide, and I am finally coming home to myself. Let those words settle into your bones. Let them become part of your architecture. You are not waiting anymore. You are arriving. The surprise is already in motion. The tears that are coming will be warm, and they will be light, and they will wash away the last of the grief you have been holding. You will look back on this exact moment where you sat with your hand on your heart and chose to believe, and you will realize that this was the turning point. This was the moment the story changed. And before you close this video and step back into your beautiful, unfolding life, I need you to do one last thing for me and for yourself. Scroll down to the comments right now and type one single word. The word is finally, just that one word. Finally, type it as a declaration. Type it as a prayer. Type it as a lock on a door that you are sealing shut. Promise to the universe that you are claiming this energy, you are receiving this reading, and you are stepping into the timeline where you are chosen, cherished, and celebrated. If this message found you at the exact moment you needed it, If it pulled you out of the spiral and gave you back your hope, share it with someone you love. Someone who is in their own dark night right now. Someone who needs to hear that the sun is coming back. And if you have not already subscribed to Trusted Tarot, do it now. Hit that bell so you never miss the next message Spirit has for you. Because the universe does not stop speaking just because you found one answer. There is more coming. There is always more. And I will be right here, waiting to pull the next card for you. Until then, Cancer, keep your heart open. Keep your hand on your chest. Keep breathing. The surprise is already on its way, and it is going to make you cry from happiness. You deserve every single beautiful thing that is coming. Go gently, go softly, and go knowing that you are so deeply, so fiercely, so unconditionally loved. This reading is complete. This energy is sealed. Go in peace.